Let's go to Jeff from Pennsylvania. Jeff, welcome to the program. What's on your mind today?
Hey there, first time caller. This is awesome to be on. Thanks for picking me.
Thank you.
Um, I was wondering, with all the talk about polling that we always hear, this might be a dumb question, but where do people get polled to collect this info?
You look at the methodology of each poll and it will tell you that, and it will tell you the combination. Typically it's landlines, cell phones. Sometimes there are online elements to the poll, but there's not one answer to that, and it's in the methodology.
Okay, because I was thinking, if people are getting reached out to on landlines and phones, and I don't know, most people at this point don't pick up for calls that are, suspicious or they don't recognize, then I don't know how much stock can you put into polling in that case.
Yeah, your skepticism isn't new. This is an issue that people have talked about for a while, which is especially if it's only landlines. Most polls are not only landlines at this point in time. I think the bigger and more accurate concern around polling is only certain people are even going to entertain a call from pollsters. I mean, listen, I'm so busy, for example, I don't really talk on the phone. I barely use my phone. I have periods of time where for hours I'm just away from my phone. I rarely pick it up. I don't even listen to voicemails. I'm basically like conducting business via email for most of the things that I have going on. So it's true that there are only some people who are even willing to get on the phone with a pollster. The way pollsters deal with that is they adjust their sample to account for that. But it's a fair question to say, to what degree can they really accurately and fairly adjust the sample? I think it's fair. Polling has by and large still been pretty accurate in most cases over the last 4 years, although we certainly saw some specific instances in which it was not. So all good questions and important things to ask.
All right, well, that's what I had for today.
Thanks so much. Very much appreciate the call. Let's see. Let's go to Elias from Texas. Elias, welcome. What's on your mind today?
Hey David, thanks for calling on me. How could a 50 Senate differ from a 51 to 49 Senate? Will Biden be able to get more done with a simple majority?
I think that he will not get more done, but it will become
Mm,
irrelevant whether both Manchin and Sinema want to go with what Democrats are trying to do. I've got a couple clips
right,
about this.
right.
Basically, the gist of it is when it's 50-50, you need all 50 Democrats in order to enable Kamala Harris to break the tie. If it's 51-49, if Manchin doesn't want to go with it, it doesn't matter anymore. Or if Sinema doesn't want to go with it, it doesn't matter anymore. You still get to 50-50 and Kamala's the tiebreaker. Obviously, if both Manchin and Sinema
Yeah,
are resisting, that's a different story. But it just gives you breathing room.
yeah. And I was just curious about what your efforts are in Georgia, if you went down there to go help out with Warnock. Personally, I'm helping with text banking tomorrow, so yeah.
I am not going to be able to make it down to Georgia, but we are going to be in these last few days pushing hard, making sure everybody knows about early voting. We're going to
Right.
do some, uniting around phone and text banking events, and we're pushing as hard as we can there. So appreciate the questions, and let's hope that
Yeah,
Walker is defeated there.
right. Thank you, David.
We're looking for massive dumps of votes for Warnock. All right, my friend. Thank you
Of
very
course.
much. Okay, Elias is gone there. Very good. All right, let's go to Boz from the Netherlands. Boz, welcome to the program.
Hello.
Hello.
Um, I had a question because I was somewhat furious with a politician in my own country,
Hmm.
um, a politician of my own party, let's say. Um, and I got an email in which he explained that currently in our country, our judges have the possibility to prohibit organizations if they're dangerous to the country. But that law excludes political parties from being outlawed. He said that he would like to see that changed, and for me, that was like it made something loose in me. Like I got really mad over that. But because I think that's like the opposite of the democracy. Even if like even if democratically it's decided you want to end democracy, I think that's the purest form of democracy. Even though that's weird.
Boss, I'm sorry.
What do you
I
think
don't
of
know
such
that I'm
thing?
totally understanding what you're saying. I certainly am not following politics in Netherlands as closely as maybe I would have to answer this question. Did you have a question for me today?
Mm, mm, no, not really. Then I guess.
No. Boss, listen, I appreciate the call. I just I'm not well versed enough in Dutch politics, and I'm not sure, and it sounds like you don't really have a question. So let me look into what you're mentioning, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right. There is Boss from the Netherlands with a very, very powerful declaration. Let's go to Nate from Rhode Island. Nate, welcome. What's on your mind today?
Hey David, how you doing?
Doing well.
So I have a question. So with regards to the calls in the Discord, may I make a suggestion for future calls?
Please.
So there's something called stage channels. It's a new feature, and basically it's just what it sounds like. You have the
Yeah, we're
call.
familiar with it, Nate. Thank you. We've
Right.
looked into it, and it was not obvious from what we and the moderators determined that it really was going to be an improvement, and it raised a couple of new issues. But we will look into it again. We're familiar with stages.
All right, and then just one other thing. So to add to what you were talking with Elias earlier about,
Yes.
with regards to the Senate. So in addition, with 51 Senate seats, we have subpoena powers, so we can start our own investigations, and it also makes it easier to fast track judges.
Yes, absolutely. When it comes to judges in particular. Now, on subpoena, doesn't that depend on having a majority in particular committees? Correct me if I'm wrong.
That I'm not too sure about. I just read up on it.
Yeah, because my
And I-
understanding was, and I could be wrong, Nate, that the subpoenas tend to come not from the Senate at large, but rather from specific committees like the judiciary. And even with a 50-50 majority, they would still have the majority in the committees. So that was my understanding, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'd have to look into that. Thank you for bringing that up. I'll have to research that momentarily.
All right,
All right.
Nate, great to hear from you. Appreciate it.
Thank you for so much for taking my call. Have a
Oh, and then he is gone. All right. Thank you, everybody, for calling in. We're going to go to a break. We will take more calls next week, and it's going to be a beautiful thing.